Police in Alabama are just not having a very good year, and it really starts in Vincent, Alabama. And Vincent, Alabama, they just fired the entire police force for sending racist text messages between each other. And at first, the police chief of Vincent, Alabama said that he was appalled, disgusted, and that there was no place for this type of racist behavior on his police force. He said that an internal investigation was going to be taking place and the appropriate disciplinary action will be given out. But then he had to resign once it was discovered that he was one of the ones sending and receiving some of the racist messages. Funny. So the leadership in Vincent, Alabama get together and they abolish the entire police force. They're going to reach out to Shelby County, and that police department, who I'm sure isn't racist at all, is going to be helping police that area. Now, you would think that, okay, well, that's probably the worst thing in Alabama, but it continues there in western Alabama in a place called Brookside, Alabama, which, funny enough, is only about an hour away from Vincent, Alabama, so they're relatively in the same area. Now, in Brookside, Alabama, the residents are suing the police force for policing for profiteering. Brookside, Alabama is essentially a poor town. The town only has 2 stoplights in the entire town. Most of the lanes are single traffic lanes, and this city, or the police in this city, were able to rack up $640,000 in traffic fines. In a city that only has 2 traffic lights, the police were able to rack up $640,000 in traffic fines when there's no traffic lights barely in the city. On top of that, in 2018, the city towed something like 50 vehicles. In 2020, they towed 789 vehicles. That's absolutely ridiculous right there. The police in Alabama are absolutely corrupt, and the DOJ really needs to look into policing in Alabama because
What? So who was really in the wrong here? Was it Karen or was it the guy on the bench? Or should the judge be punished under Section 28, Code 455 for judicial misconduct? Comment, let me know what you think.
New York film student, 19, is released from Russian prison after being in jail for nearly 2 months for carrying enough prescribed medical cannabis to roll 40 joints, but she can't return to the U.S. for 10 days. Brittany Garner, 31-year-old American, convicted of smuggling 0.7 grams of THC into Russia on a trip to play basketball for Russia's team, sentenced to 9 years and fined 1 million rubles in 2022. And Audra Lorber, 19-year-old American, found guilty of smuggling 17 grams of THC into Russia while on a family vacation, released after 2 months of detention, and fined 15,000 rubles. A couple things can be true at the same time, right? We can acknowledge also that America and Russia are 2 global power hegemons and ain't got no moral ground to stand on when it comes to talking about incarcerating people. We also can acknowledge that if so many Americans can see what's happening to Brittany Griner as being an injustice, we can release a whole bunch of folks here in America that's being incarcerated for the same exact thing. Russia gets racial with sentencing, just like America.
When a black woman dies, when a black woman is murdered, you don't hear about it. When a white woman dies or a white woman is murdered, it's the front page. There's rallies. There's documentaries. But when it's a black woman, you don't want to know about it. So you all need to put a mirror up to yourselves and ask yourselves why you are not reporting on black women who've been murdered and missing, and children. Why aren't we reporting on these deaths, on these murders? We have to have an inquiry to call you all out, including the police, including all the racist systems that keep us oppressed in this country, including the media. We have Aboriginal people across this country ready to tell their story. We have a list of missing and murdered black women and children, And we need you all to commit to reporting on every black death in custody, every murdered black woman, and every missing black child.
Teens being denied entrance to a pool in Lee Summit, Mo.
This is probably who we need to. Are you Grace? Yep, I am. We can talk right here. We can talk wherever you want to talk. So you're telling me that you canceled our parties because of what?
Because of the outreach that it got on social media. It's not something that LSPR is comfortable hosting.
What do you mean you're not comfortable with? It's a private event.
I understand that, and we reserve the right to cancel any of the parties.
Hold on. So where does it say that you reserve the right to cancel in any of this?
Because we are a public entity, we can cancel any party that we want
Where
to.
does it say that? So you're going to cancel it right before all these kids coming up here is what you're saying. You're canceling. These kids come to swim. Like, what is the problem? We have security coming. We put a whole lot of money into this. You talking
And
about?
you're gonna get
No. We have money
back.
outside of what we paid for you. We paid for security to come up here. We got the police.
He's here for me.
No. We have other police officers coming. No, not him.
Hold on.
Not him.
Our security team is an organization. They contact Lee Summit Police and let them know that the event is happening. I mean, he probably does.
I've been here all day. Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they contact me. I mean, it's
We had a.
it's hurtful.
Okay, you locked your doors, right?
Cancel on a kid's birthday party, a private party, because of.
You're not comfortable.
Because you're not comfortable with what are you uncomfortable?
What are you uncomfortable with?
The outreach.
This seems racist.
What outreach?
It's giving racist.
What makes you uncomfortable?
What makes us uncomfortable about all of us?
The number of people that this
The
event
contract,
has reached.
the contract,
And
The
the
contract,
The capacity 200, right?
250 people is what we paid for. 250 people is what we paid for.
That's what it is. If it was a large group of white folks walking up, it wouldn't be a problem.
250 people is what we paid for.
I mean, I know you don't know, but 250 people. I just want to know why we're uncomfortable.
Why my 250 people can't come? Why are you uncomfortable with 250 kids coming? I mean,
Well, can we go process my money?
It's going to take some
no, I want my money today. Oh, no.
No,
70
we didn't have splash bash.
No.
I'm verbally telling you.
No, you verbally told us you can have a party here. You verbally told us you can have a party here.
We're going to talk right here.
Hey.
We're going to talk right here.
You and wife?
I'm white.
All right. We can go over there and talk, but we're not going to have the whole group.
That's what
It doesn't matter.
I requested that from the beginning.
Deal.
She wanted to stay out here
You
with
good with that? All right.
Party is canceled, Joe.
I'm gonna be out with my Melrose Lane tour.
I like your ring.
Pocket.
Sir? I like your ring.
To jack
It's
you up
glisten.
right now. Do you understand that? You know what? Let's go. Here.
Bro, just chill, bro. Reggie, hey, don't resist. Reggie, don't resist.
Do it. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, hey, bro, what the fuck?
Bro, go get.
Hey, get off my phone.
No, don't you.
I'll get no. Grab it.
Get out of my face right now.
Bro, don't touch him.
Bro, don't touch him, bro.
touch him like that again.
Come on.
Touch him like that again.
Go to
Reggie.
jail.
I'm gonna no.
Go to jail, dude.
Nah.
Touch him like
Go
that.
to jail.
And you worried about more food? You need more food? You need to miss some meals. You need to miss like a whole week of meals. You got the wrong one.
No, you got the wrong one.
Fucking fat bitch. You gotta go find the right one to fuck with.
I'll be that fat bitch.
You messing with the wrong one today,
You
alright?
got the wrong one.
You
You
talking
got
about two fucking drinks?
No, I'm not. You don't even know what's going on.
You talking about two drinks? Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Go find a treadmill. Do that.
I find it crazy how white people think they brought civilization here instead of interrupting it. Like, you genuinely think Africa, with all its resources, culture, philosophy, medicine, and education, needed you? You interrupted our civilization. You didn't give us one. In fact, every place you colonized, you held us back. In fact, if you think we're doing so badly, leave and watch us progress without you. You didn't bring any culture, you didn't bring any resources, you didn't bring any technology. All you brought was capitalism and homophobia and racism and then imperialism by taking more land. The technological advances, the art, the natural resources. How is it that the countries that are so-called advanced are the same countries that did all the colonizing? You think that's a coincidence?
Aborigines.
which means what? Black folks. But you never find a white aborigine. Rather, aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines. But you don't like to be called an aborigine. You want to be called an American.